Welcome to this recording of Pat Rodegast, channeling the spirit of Emmanuel in Oahu, Hawaii, February 24th, 1995. Subscribe to this channel and we'll let you know when we upload new workshops or other materials from the Emmanuel archives. Now, enjoy this meeting with Emmanuel.
Welcome. 24th, 1995, Oahu, Hawaii. I know my history, it seems, at least as it clings to me, as I relate to it and identify myself with it. But in this moment, what does the environment demand of me? And you have been taught to believe that that is a very sane, a very socially acceptable, a very necessary way to be. And I have come with great joy to tell you that no, it's not. That the greatest gift is not behavior. The greatest gift is not even conformity. The greatest gift is freedom. And what does that mean? It does not mean to rebel against who you thought you were or who you were taught you must be. For if one is rebelling, one still honors some consciousness or some voice as greater and more powerful than the self. No, you have come on a treasure hunt, and the treasure hunt is the truth of who you are. And it will be nothing like what your mind has told you it ought to be. It will be nothing at all resembling what your mind says it better not to be, or it must be. There is no stress, there is no demand, because there is no danger. There is only treasure to be found. There is only the wonder of the discovering angel, the remembering human being that says, I know who I am now. I know who I am. There are no words. There is no dictionary to in any manner do honor to description. And yet, within your hearts, from the very beginning of this life, from the moment of conception, and most certainly before and beyond that moment, you know who you are. You know the gift that you bring. You know the light of your being. Does it become shrouded in human experience? Of course it does. But is it ever lost? No, never. Not one iota of it. And so you spend your lives struggling. Does it not seem so? Struggling to attain what mind says you must attain. Struggling to be comfortable in an uncomfortable world. Struggling to be successful, whatever that may hold in its meaning for you. And you believe that the outer striving will bring you relief, fulfillment, joy, comfort, and remembering. And though most certainly this be a journey worthy of taking, and though you did indeed come to become deeply involved in the world of illusion, that is not your goal. That is not your purpose. Far more simple and far more, it seems, elusive and much more demanding. We will speak much of the moment of now, which means simply that the moment ago is gone and will never return, and the moment beyond this one has not yet been created by who you are. And so, in truth, there is no place to stand, there is no place to be, except here. There is no air to breathe except the air that surrounds you now and fills your body as you breathe. You cannot breathe in preparation for the 3 breaths in advance. You cannot breathe to fill a memory. breath is a wondrous teacher, a metronome, if you will, of human consciousness. For as you breathe in, you must be present. You are no place else. And as you exhale, it is essential in the exhalation that you release the breath and therefore the life and the experience that you have just drawn in. And if you would be willing just to do that, whenever there is time, whenever there is space between the thoughts, let yourself touch that awareness of the breath, not in some performance or ritual, or not in some rigid practice, but in a very practical sense. The means by which to bring yourself to the moment of now is to utilize, as I have said, the metronome of your breathing. It is there, it must be there. If breath ceases for any length of time, then you are no longer present in your physical body and you have come home. And all of the struggle and all of the life that you have chosen to live has been done with. And at the last exhalation, before the soul leaves its body, that is a completion. There are no threads left dangling, no matter what those who remain in physical form may feel about that, no matter how heads are shaken and regret is expressed, though they didn't finish that, or they had just begun the other. That is how it seems when one is looking on at anything, does it not? But when one is the center of the experience, it is always quite a different thing. And so as you live your lives moment by moment, and that is the only way that they can be lived, is moment by moment. The more you allow your attention, the more you allow the truth of yourself to inhabit that moment, the more vibrant you become, the more alive in the truest sense of the word. And with that aliveness, there is a compelling requirement for freedom. Now, bear with me a moment. What do I mean by freedom? None of you seem to be in shackles, and yet you are. Wherever there is a demand that pulls you from the center of this experience, from the moment of now, that demand, that requirement, becomes, if you will, your master. If you are not free to flow to the center of this moment, then something has captured you. There are great loyalties that you all walk with, and they seem so noble and ennobling. But you say, I remember those I love who are not here, or I am planning for something that must take place with perfection. When I leave, it requires my attention now, or whatever manner, whatever holiness you seem to ascribe to the avoidance, if you will, of your human life. Let it be perceived as that. And I say that not in judgment, I urge you not to receive it in that way. Whenever you find yourself in distraction, whenever you find yourself wandering, do not bring yourself back with cruelty or anger or judgment, but bring yourself back. The habit of non-presence is just that. It is a habit, something that fear has been very, very careful to teach you. For you see, fear's very existence, its life depends upon your willingness to be distracted from the moment of now. Whenever you feel fear, do not believe, dear ones, that it is because of the experience of the moment. But if you would allow yourself to be fully present, there is absolutely nothing that will frighten you. It will simply be another breath. It will simply be you in the moment of now, which is the moment of eternity. And when you have become aligned with the essence of your being, you hold remembrance. And in the remembrance, you know who you are. And who you are is indestructible. Virtually indestructible, both in physical manner as well as, of course, in your angelic and divine nature.